Hey there guys, how's it going? My name is Sumet Chatterjee from the Flow Zone Academy, and I'm a flow state coach, which means that I help you feel better and perform better. Today I want to talk about how you can tap into your flow state depending on your spirit animal. Now this is very different to the totem animal, which is related to shamanism, as well as the power animal. Your spirit animal is the animal that you most feel like is your energetic blueprint or your essence. And that animal helps you, it guides you towards many different areas of your life. Some key takeaways here in terms of how you can understand what your spirit animal is. First of all, it's going to be related to the different traumas in your life. That's one way you can really start to understand your spirit animal, because the subconscious mind understands symbols. And so different animals related to your specific life, your specific experience thus far, is going to give you some key understandings as to what they are. Second thing is to explore what animals keep coming up in your dreams. Third thing is understand what animals keep coming up again and again in your life. That once you have your selective focus on them, of course you're going to notice those animals much more. However, there will be signs, there will be symbols of that animal coming up again and again and again. Okay? So what is your spirit animal? Is it a primate? Is it, some kind of a big cat? Is it also your animal that you have noticed growing up? So I'll give you a few instances of mine. So I used to read a lot of Calvin and Hobbes growing up, okay? That was my first instance that I knew that I was very drawn to the tiger, okay? Secondly, it's the national animal of India, right? So it definitely connected me to my heritage and my root chakra. Okay, secondly. Third thing that I would say is that, well, it has the word Royal Bengal in it. So there's a majestic element of it, but then it's also Bengal, which is I am Bengali, right? And I'm in Calcutta right now, and this is my motherland, and so I feel a deep connection and an origin and a source point for the animal itself. So maybe you have any particular animals that are associated with your own culture you can tap into and apply those strengths in other areas of your life. So what does the tiger help me do? Helps me with focus. Okay? I have a very distracted mind. However, I've been able to train my mind to be less distracted and more focused. When a tiger looks at its prey, it is focused in on it. It does not move, it does not make any subtle changes. And it might move, but it's very swift, it's very smooth, and it just knows the right time and the right place. It's very calculated, right? So I've been able to learn that kind of similar calculation to tap into that tiger energy and learning from that tiger energy, okay? And also one of my spirit guides, who I call Deno, is a Native American animorph who turns into a tiger as well. What you really also want to do is get around certain people who are in tune or tapping into different wavelengths, different frequencies, different cultures. So if you go to much more indigenous or shamanic cultures and you find ways to connect to rituals there, you will definitely find that there will be some symbolism there. Now, you can also contact certain people who are doing shamanic work online. I'm sure that there's different ways to do this, though in that sense, there would be also, sometimes people will just pretend to be shamans, so you don't really know for sure. However, at the same time, I think it's really important to explore that arena as well, because, honestly, it's quite difficult to find actually authentic people who are practicing, shamanism, neo-shamanism, you could say. in a way that is really, potent or powerful. So the next thing is to slowly start to listen to the sounds when you are meditating. Are you hearing any specific sounds of animals, right? Are you hearing birds? Are you hearing roars? Are you hearing, grunts? Are you hearing what kind of primal or animal sounds are you hearing when you are going into deep trance or deep meditation? Okay. Now there's certain guided meditations and trances that you can do to actually pick out your power animal. You can find this similarly for your own spirit animal as well. So your spirit is kind of like your life force, your energy, all right? So you want to basically maintain the fact that, okay, yes, there is this energy to this animal that is speaking to me. So someone on an interview said, you just make me want to be so laid back but take so much action at the same time. And that's kind of like the energy of the tiger, right? It's like, it waits, it plots, it chills, it's doing its thing, but at the same time, when it's time to go, they're going. So it's like this kind of relaxed wakefulness. So that's like alpha waves, right? So essentially, when I tap into alpha waves throughout my own day, I get a little bit of that tiger energy, where I feel like, oh man, I'm so relaxed, but then I still have that momentum to take action and get into the flow, okay? What you're really looking for is an animal that speaks to your alpha waves or gets you in the release pockets of the flow cycle. Not necessarily. I mean, it could be that an animal also helps you during the recovery phase of the flow cycle, okay? Or maybe it just taps you into, you're in the flow phase of the flow cycle, okay? It could be an animal that taps into the struggle phase of the flow cycle too, the hustle, the rah, that energy. You could even split it up and find different animals for the 4 different phases of the flow cycle as well. I mean, there's no rules to this thing, but it's up to you to really amplify and tap into that energy and learn from that. So if you can look up online different ways and different traits, like what are the spirit animal traits that these animals have and what are they known for in different cultures. So once you learn that, okay, let's say that you choose cat, right? For Egypt, a cat is seen as a very, very, different kind of symbolic creature as opposed to another culture, let's say Native American culture, okay? So the thing is, you want to find out, how does this feline energy, and it could even go very deep into learning more about, like, maybe even, if you want to go into like different like star systems and like, Lyra and all that stuff, you can go into it for sure. Once you learn, okay, let's say that your spirit animal is a pit bull, right? You also want to bring alive that energy in your real life, right? A pit bull just kind of goes for it and just like, it has this very like dominant type of energy, right? And it will definitely know when there's an enemy present, and it's super alert in that way. So maybe you can use that in being able to, if you're a fighter, you could use that, right? If you're tapping into an animal energy as you're in the ring, it can really help you out, as opposed to, being very logical and precise in the human manner. That's okay, but you need a little bit of that ferocity from the animal side to give you much more of that peak potential, right? I mean, my totem animal is a dolphin, and my spirit animal is a tiger. I still do not know my power animal. However, I'm still exploring my dreams. Spoke to a few practitioners who are, kind of very into this world, so that's what they told me to do. And so that's kind of my next steps for that. Yeah, in my own personal experience, like, you want to find an animal that also speaks to you. Like, how would it help you serve, in the boardroom and in the bedroom as well, right? So if you have like a certain kind of a sexual prowess or a comfort, it could help your relationships, right? So let's say that you are like, your spirit animal is like a koala bear, right? You want to tap into that koala energy. You're very cute, you're very loving, you're very soft, right? At the same time, you're kind of, you're looking after. There's like a protective element. There's a eucalyptus element there that you could look into. Use eucalyptus, essential oils. So you could basically use your creativity, right, and expand. Like, okay, what is this creature or beast, it could even be, and how can I apply the lessons that it's telling me and tap that into the human world. I've always thought that my power animal actually could be a bird of some sort, because I keep seeing falcons over here, things like that. The way that you can find out what your spirit animal is simply ask your subconscious mind, okay? This there's a very interesting exercise where you write with your less dominant hand, and this has been done in inner child healing. But if you can do it even with your animal, like you can ask your inner child, because the childhood wounds, oftentimes they connect with your spirit animal in a certain way. Why? Because it's like your subconscious wounding is reminding you that this is what it is, okay? So like, for instance, I had a drowning incident as a kid, which relates to my dolphin essence, or being in water, right? There's lots of interesting animals here in India, monkeys and cows and things like that. And it's so interesting to, come across these things. And also a lot of households have like lizards and things like that. And, I learned from a person who channels animals that the lizard means it's a reminder that you get more in touch with your body. So different animals around you that you also see will give you different symbols. I once saw a robin like just in the hallway as I was walking down the stairs, and I wonder what that means. I'm not too sure, but it is symbolic. You can always look the symbols up online. What does seeing a robin mean? What is the symbolism behind a robin? I don't know why my Alexa keeps making weird noises, man. That's like an animal by itself. Anyway, guys, yeah, I hope this video helps you out, gives you at least like a starting point in order for you to look into like how to find your spirit animal, how to make it work for you. You want it to basically apply to all different areas, so you can apply it to your health, your wealth, your happiness, your relationships, different areas. You can spread them out as well according to how you want it, and only you know the answer. Like, don't let somebody else just tell you and give you all the blueprints. And you've got to actually do the inner work and a little bit of exploration to find out what it is. And if you'll be getting signs, right? You'll be getting signs throughout your life and your lifetime that you would see, like, okay, this animal is here again and again and again and again. It will just feel like very natural that this is it. Like, you will know, like, this is it. So yeah, hope this video helps you out today. Have an amazing day. May the flow be with you and stay legendary.